The Rockpile Report, the pettiest, hardest drinking Bills podcast. All right, podcasts are all done with Buffalo Happy Hour. They have wives, they left. Or I should say they have wives that care about them, and that they also care about their wives. So we're still here for After Dark with some... We got Manhattans. This is what made with a rye whiskey that I picked up on my road trip from Maryland. I think it's like a 10th Ward X rye. Not that big of a fan of it in a Manhattan. And no, well, so with a Manhattan, a lot of my issues are probably...
Turn the headphones up. Now that our guests are gone,
probably
you can turn the headphones
with
up.
the...
Guys, if you listen to the podcast, you'll find out why that's funny.
Yeah, I think it has to do with the vermouth, because sweet vermouth is good for like 8 minutes. And then you got to buy a new one and dump it out. So like, I don't know if you are a sweet vermouth drinker and you buy like a 750 milliliter bottle, I don't know how you go through it, because it lasts for like 8 minutes.
That's not true. Chris, I want you to hit Google and Google, when does sweet vermouth expire?
I mean, it'll probably agree with me and go 8 minutes. Have you sampled it?
Not yet. I'm just over here drinking water poorly because, obviously.
How long do you think sweet vermouth lasts?
I'm going to say 3 to 4 years if properly refrigerated. Okay.
Unopened is 3 to 4 years, while opened would last 2 months.
And if that's refrigerated?
Yeah, my vermouth is in the refrigerator.
So if you don't refrigerate it, you're fucked.
Yeah. There's another bottle that I have out there. It's a Walcott Bottled and Bond. Not that big of, because for whatever variation of old fashioned I do, I just don't think it's that good. Now, how do you like your Manhattan?
This is mediocre.
All right.
It's not your best work.
Could be the rye. Because I bet certain ryes... God.
Oh, God, it's killing me.
It's like certain ryes might not work with...
Did Larissa pay you to make this? She's trying to bump me off?
No, well, just drink it, because I'm going to be a man and drink it. I did notice you didn't finish the other cocktail that...
No, I did not. You're fucking...
Too hot?
You fucking... No, it's just I'm trying not to die. I'm trying not to have heartburn at 3 o'clock in the morning, because I'm old as shit. Now... I like the fact that you did something you're not proud of. You made something you're not proud of, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about this. We just had Buffalo Happy Hour, whose podcast is hilarious because they do that. They think there's a lot of abstract thought that goes into their podcast. And there's a lot of things they talk about in terms of yourself, like introspection. What would you do in this scenario? Let's talk about things. And I think it's why their listeners like them so much. I warned them ahead of time I was going to crib from it. Chris, what's the worst things you've done recently? Now, I'll preface this with this. I'm going to name 3 things that are all possible things I've done. You have to pick which one happened today. A, wear sunglasses into a gymnasium, like a gym. Like a place of physical exercise. B, do smelling salts in front of everyone in a place of, a place of workout. C, fail to wipe a machine off before someone else sat down on it.
I would either...
What's the worst one?
Probably... C.
Okay, so the sweat.
Because we're in a post-COVID era.
And you think that out of all those, all 3 of those things, sunglasses indoors, smelling salts in public.
If I had to rank them, it'd be C, B, A. Because I think A happens every time you go into the gym.
What if I told you I was accidentally all three today in one moment?
I believe that.
I accidentally wore my... I walked out of the truck and I had them on, and I got to the door and I realized my truck was so far away and I had such limited time on my lunch break to work out that I wasn't going back. And I just went in and I was like, it won't be that weird. Chris, it was that weird. Being the guy working out with your sunglasses on in the gym is one of the most... You can see other people get uncomfortable around you.
So back in May, when my parents were here, we celebrated my cousin's 50th birthday at Hamburg Brew Co. And Jessica and I saw... Gentleman is not the right term to use based on how he looked, but he was a man wearing sunglasses indoors at Hamburg Brew Co. Also, he had on a satchel.
Wait.
Like a
But hang on, so when you say satchel, it's a merce?
Yeah, it's like
a merce.
A shoulder strap. Look
Yeah, good old fashioned merce.
And it held there, and he had his sunglasses on. And there are times where I'm out with, like, Jessica and I are going out tomorrow night. There are times where I will see something behind her, and I'll look at her like this. I'll just go wide-eyed, like, you need to turn around and people watch with me. Look at this dickhead, sunglasses indoors at 8:30 p.m., and he has a satchel on. It's all like he was like part Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover. You know, when he walks to the elevator and he like shakes his hair and he has his satchel on. That's what this guy looked like at Hamburg Brew Co. Sunglasses inside at any time are a no.
See, now can I defend myself here for a second?
You can try.
The reason I wear sunglasses indoors during certain events is because I don't need anybody else hassling me about how intoxicated I am. The funny thing is that when you wear those like wraparound like Oakley sunglasses when they're dark enough, nobody knows how much you've had to drink. And if you're like me who can hold your booze, you can have into the double digits before anyone even really knows, like as long as you don't talk a lot. And you do, like, based on what you're doing, no one knows because they can't see the whites of your eyes. Like, if you were to take those things off, they'd look at you and go, oh, damn it, that guy's crocked. But they won't know if you keep them sunglasses on. Now, maybe that's a fallacy I tell myself, but I'll tell you this. It's never failed me yet. Chris.
What's that famous line from Foxy Shazam? You know that band?
I don't even know what that is.
Foxy Shazam is a rock band.
Nope.
There is a lyric.
That's not real.
Yeah,
You're making that up.
There's a lyric in one of their songs called I Like It, and it is, I wear these shades so when I stare, no one can tell.
Yeah, that's it. I'm doing that. And here's the question. I'm admitting to things I do that I'm not proud of. What about you, Chris? What are some things you've done recently that you're like, well, shouldn't have done that, but I'm doing it? I'm the worst person in the room right now.
I don't know, probably removing the tip of my finger.
Well, yeah. No, guys, not just removing the tip of his finger, because it gets better than this. Chris, why don't you tell him about having to lay down? Lay down.
Like
when you get the bandage changed.
Yeah, I have to lay down when Jessica changes my bandage. 'Cause I can't do that.
You can't do what?
I have not looked at my finger since I cut it, I see it, 2 seconds later it's wrapped in paper. I have a hunk of paper towels and I have not seen my finger since. I don't know what it looks like right now. I'm pulling my phone right now. I'm going to text Jessica right now because Jessica has a photo of it. So I'm going to tell her to text you.
I hope she does. So, just like I said, I told Buffalo Happy Hour, I go, guys, I'm cribbing from you. We're stealing all of your bits for our After Dark. But I'm interested in hearing your answers because I already know mine are worse than yours. I think we just proved that. The thing we most recently did terribly was that I was just an animal in public for 12. And then not only that, but I did smelling salts throughout the day because I decided that staying up and watching BattleBots was more important than going to sleep.
This just came to me right now.
Oh, here we go.
Today, this happened today. So it's like 4:15. I'm upstairs. And I'm rifling through one of my cocktail books to look at what I can make you. And I look at where we keep all of our citrus. There's like 1 orange and 3 moldy lemons and some lime. And I'm like, oh, fuck. We're podcasting tonight. I have no citrus I can give Drew. So, I have to pick up the pizza. Drew, do you know what's in between my house and Wise Guys Pizza?
No.
The only place I can stop at to get citrus is Tops. So I'm at the Tops on Harlem and like Mineral Springs. I get all my citrus and I'm in line. I'm like first in line at the self-checkout. Some old bitch pushes a full cart from the opposite side, like where you would leave the self-checkout, to get in line. She, like, all the self-checkouts are full, so she's like, oh, I'm going to take my whole cart and just come through self-checkout to get behind me to check it. What the fuck are you doing, you old bitch?
That's ages.
What went through your head instead of just going around through produce and going around like a normal simpleton to get in line? No, I'm just gonna scrape other carts in self-checkout.
Okay, so this brings up bitch. You just hit on an interesting point. Is the person who hits your shopping cart with their cart the dumbest person in the room? Immediately.
Yes.
Do you look at them like they're the biggest moron you've ever seen in your life?
I don't know how, like, you're at self-checkout and some bitch hits your cart. I'm getting mad because I'm standing there watching this woman like come from the lotto.
You knew she was going to do it. You knew she was going to do it.
And she's just like,
you forecasted
and other people are.
It was like the Titanic hitting the iceberg. You saw it coming, and you're like, "Oh no, we should turn. We should be turning."
I see people that are in self checkout like move their cart so this woman can get through. No, you reach in her cart, grab something she has, and you throw it in produce. You just hurl it over the registers into the produce section.
Okay.
So this is what happened. Like, okay, I didn't have to see this if I knew what I was doing. And like, okay, I don't have any citrus to make Drew a cocktail for today. Let me go like mid-afternoon so I can go to Wegmans or Market in the Square, because I forget. I'm like, it's almost 4:30. I got to pick up the pizza at 5 o'clock. There's a Tops next to Wise Guys, like half a block, or the way I'm going down Clinton.
Now we figured it out.
Down Clinton to Harlem to Mineral Springs. I can stop in there. Like, I have to stop in Tops to get citrus, and this fucking bitch.
We're on to something here.
God.
Who are the worst people in the grocery store? Okay.
There was a guy in produce who had a tattoo on his face. And he was wearing a Yankees jersey.
I mean, you are in South Buffalo. That's not surprising.
Do you want to guess what his girlfriend looked like?
God, no, we're not going to touch that. Here's what I'll go with. In the grocery store, if we're having a conversation about who the worst people are, Chris, fuck the grocery store, first of all. I don't do any of my family shopping. I'm happy we're talking about this. I am not physically capable of doing our shopping without animosity. Even with my children. Like, I have my kids. And the handful of times I've taken them into the store, we have a great time. But there is always one person who manages to elicit a little bit of a response that I know that I have to curtail when my kids get older. But for right now, I can just unleash this shit and they have no idea what I'm talking about. Because I do it with a calm tone of voice. And I just say something really horrific to someone who's being a barbarian in the middle of the grocery store. And they act like Chris, like I just dropped a bomb. And at the same time, my kids have no idea. And that's all I care about, right?
Yeah.
I think I told the story on the podcast, but the guy who yelled at me, approached me aggressively in the parking lot as I was pushing the cart. And I was like, if you don't, just calmly, was like, if you don't get back to your car, I'm going to kick all the teeth out of your head. You don't yell in front of my children. You're not going to worry them. No one gets to, if I don't get to yell in public in front of my children, you sure as fuck don't. So, we're in the grocery store. We're there. It's me, my kids, and there's this lady looking at milk. Chris, ancient. She's looking at milk, and she has 4 different gallons of milk out. Now, she's occupying the whole space, and she's analyzing all of the expiration dates because she wants to see which one's going to expire the latest. Is she not the worst person in the entire grocery store in that moment?
I have been in that situation where...
Is she not the worst?
She's one of the worst. I've been in that situation where you're standing at the one refrigerated door for milk, and you're just standing...
Wait, did you just say milk?
Milk. M-I-L-K. Milk.
Milk. Say it.
Milk.
Say it one more time slowly. No. All right.
No.
If you were a milk guy, I was about to burn your house down.
Says the guy that says miracle. All right. I'm standing in front of the door, the one door that has the fat-free 1%, 2%, which is what the majority of people get. And I've been there where somebody's just standing there, analyzing the milk. And then they
I'm hearing you. I feel like you're saying milk.
You're so close to the to them, and they turn around and you scared them, and then they apologize for taking too long. And it's yeah, I know exactly 1%. I know that's what I came here to get. How did you just approach the door, and you don't know what one you're supposed to get? You've had it in your refrigerator for years. Probably the same type, 1%, 2%, fat-free.
People don't change milk.
Yeah. You just, you know what you're supposed to get. Open the door and grab it, and then leave so I can grab it. I've got one for you. I've seen it.
Again, so the lady who I ran into, I told her, I said this. I have the boys. She turns around. She's like, oh, and I go, lady. I go, the expiration dates on those don't matter because you'll expire before they do. And her reaction to that was not as positive as you would expect. She didn't take it like the joke that it is. Although she was old enough, it might not have been a joke. I'm just tired of acting like we have to humor these people.
I'm hoping that you will agree with me on this. I've seen it a handful of times at the West Seneca Wegmans. When you go to Wegmans... And it's a day at Wegmans. It's packed, and you park and you get out of your car and you're walking in the parking lot. And I'm going to give the cutoff at a Ford F-150 is allowable. Anything above the Ford F-150, not allowable. When you are a man and you drive a giant truck like a Ford F-350. I don't even know how high they go. 450. A giant super truck, and you park within like the first 5 spots after handicap, like you got to be that close to the store and also take up multiple spots because your truck is so goddamn big.
That's the truck tax.
And you have a tiny penis. That's what you're also trying to tell us. You have a tiny penis. If you have a Ford F-250 or bigger, you park in the fucking back. You park in the back and you walk your ass up to Wegmans. You don't get one of those.
I have
those
a 1500. I have a 1500.
You have a Dodge.
I park as far away from the store as possible because I don't trust morons not to knock my door, but also because I understand I have a bigger vehicle. Like,
Yeah.
I just park far away and walk because that's the tax I pay for being a truck driver. If you're not doing that, then yeah, you are kind of a douchebag. Like, that's kind of a dick move. Just, like, listen, you chose to have the big vehicle. No one else who did it for you. Get to the back. Now, Chris, I'll talk about the most enraging person. I hope you agree with me. The worst person in a grocery store at any point in time. The person who on a busy day, like we're not talking like a Wednesday night or like a Tuesday morning. We're talking Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock, prime time, will abandon their cart in the middle of a highly trafficked area to go look at something else.
Yep.
Someone who leaves their cart in the middle of an aisle just to go, I was walking down the main aisle of Wegmans where there's like, it's literally 2 by, like you have a left lane, right lane vibe. And then people can mill around in between you a little bit, but realistically, that's the alley. I'm just going to leave my cart here because I want to go look at that cake down there, and I feel like it's too busy down there for me to bring my cart in, but I'm going to abandon it here in front of a bunch of people and inconvenience the whole world so I can go look at carrot cake mix. You idiot. So, Chris, I've watched this happen my whole life. Recently, I took action. I watched the lady do it. She went down the chip aisle to go look at chips. Obviously, chips are a popular aisle, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Usually there's at least 2 or 3 people in that aisle every moment you walk into it, correct? You're never alone in the chip aisle on a Saturday afternoon. Never. So this lady takes off down the thing and leaves her cart, which is loaded down with shit. She's done her whole day's worth of shopping. And I see this from a distance and I go, boys, you want to see something cool? And Jack's laughing. And I grab that cart. And I just start tandem pushing carts. And I just take it. And I saw the guy stocking the Frito-Lay at the end. He's not a Wegmans employee. He doesn't give a shit. He just looked and his eyes got big and his face lit up like a Christmas tree. Like he was like, someone's doing it. Someone's doing the fucking thing. I took that lady's cart and I walked it all the way to the other corner of the store and just left it there.
Genius move.
Imagine the look on that chick's face when she comes back with whatever variety of Cheetos she was looking for and she doesn't have her cart. It's just gone. An hour of your time that you spent cultivating these groceries, it disappeared. Oh, why did it disappear? Because you left it there. You left it for any dickhead to steal it. Well, I stole it. I stole it and I pushed it to a far corner of the store. Now my wife has come at me and gone, well, what if there was frozen stuff and they didn't find it and it thawed and now the store has to eat that? I don't want to hear about it. I consider myself a Robin Hood for everybody else who doesn't want to be inconvenienced by inconsiderate dickheads in the grocery store, correct?
Yeah.
I feel like I struck a blow. Like, hey, hopefully she'll think about that the next time she just flippantly wants to wander off the beaten path and leave her shit in everyone else's way. Maybe that's wishful thinking, but is she or is she not the worst person in the grocery store?
She is.
Guys, what do you think? Who is the worst person at the grocery store?